U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has left Qatar, his last stop on a diplomatic tour aimed at brokering a ceasefire and hostage release deal between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. Earlier, he spoke to Qatari leaders who have been pivotal in trying to mediate the deal. Blinken says Israel has accepted a new bridging proposal, but Hamas, which committed the October 7th terror attacks, has accused Israel of making changes to the proposal that go against what Hamas agreed to last month. Blinken spoke to reporters before flying out of Qatar. He rebuffed media reports that the Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu had forced changes to the plan, including leaving Israeli troops in some areas of Gaza.
The United States does not accept any long-term occupation of Gaza by Israel. More specifically, the agreement is very clear on the schedule and the locations of IDF withdrawals from Gaza, and Israel has agreed to that.
Let's get more now from journalist Kareem El-Gouari, who joins us from Cairo. Kareem, the latest American proposal aiming at bridging gaps between the two sides, that's still on the table. Where do things stand now in negotiations?
Well, it doesn't look very promising. Hamas is saying that they want to go back to the Biden plan they agreed to in July already. And in this package of the Biden plan, there was the possibility of a permanent ceasefire and the full withdrawal of the Israeli forces. Now Hamas is saying that Israel is adding new terms to this bridging proposal. There is no more guarantee for a permanent truce, and there is no full withdrawal of the Israeli troops, no matter what Blinken just said. Commentators in the Arab media are saying that this deal that is suggested by the US, that is a good deal, is in reality a catastrophe for the Palestinians. So there is a lot of pessimism on the Arab side. Also, relative silence from the other mediators, Qatar and Egypt, about these suggestions. They are far less, it seems, enthusiastic than the US about this bridging proposal.
So, given what you just told me, Kareem, where do things go from here? Are we expecting the talks to continue?
Well, the Blinken mission is finished, but we will have talks in Cairo within day, technical and political talks. They have to fill enormous gaps. Netanyahu wants the option to continue the Israeli offensive at a later stage in case there's a ceasefire. He's still talking about eliminating Hamas, and Israel wants to stay, the Israeli army wants to stay in parts of the Gaza Strip. That seems to be part of this deal, although Blinken just stated that the United States does not accept any long-term occupation of Gaza by Israel.
Talk to us a little bit about the Philadelphia corridor. We're hearing a lot about that, Kareem. That's the border region between Egypt and Gaza. Hamas and Egypt are opposed to Israel keeping troops there. Why is that such a divisive issue?
Well, it seems that Netanyahu convinced Blinken to put exactly this into the bridging proposal, that Israeli army will stay in the so-called Philadelphia corridor. That's a corridor 14 kilometers long that separates Egypt and the Gaza Strip. That is right now, the Israeli army is present in this strip, is present at the Rafah border crossing. The Israelis say they want to stay there because of weapons smuggling. Of course, that would mean that the Israeli army is going to be fully surrounding the Gaza Strip even after a ceasefire deal. Egypt is opposed against this because they say it's violating actually terms of the Camp David peace agreement. That's the oldest peace agreement between Arab state and Israel from 1979 between Egypt and Israel. There is talk now of maybe some other alternatives, talk about some international presence at this border strip, or maybe some kind of high-tech proposal. I think that probably will be part of the upcoming negotiations in Egypt.
Tell us what's riding on this deal in terms of the regional implications, Karim, because are massive tensions between Israel and its neighbors, including with Hezbollah in the north in Lebanon, but also Iran is a big player in the background here. What are the implications of this deal if it falls apart or if negotiations continue?
Well, basically, everyone is waiting for the answer of Iran and Hezbollah after the killing of the head of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, in Tehran, and the killing of a high-ranking military commander of Hezbollah in Beirut, Fuad Shukr. It seems like this answer is on hold. They are waiting now what's coming out of this ceasefire negotiations. If the ceasefire negotiations are successful, they will say that is partially because of our pressure coming from this possible answer. If not, they might strike at a later date. But it gives, of course, this upcoming talks in Cairo, an urgency that is recognized by Israel, is recognized by, and also recognized by all the mediators.
Karim, thank you very much for your insights. That was journalist Karim El-Gouari in Cairo.
You're welcome.